Welcome back to Cinema 7's E3 press conference marathon. Earlier, Josh and I talked about Square Enix, however you say it,
It's Square Enix and their
and
little presentation.
their little presentation. And then, like I said earlier yesterday, we talked about Xbox and Bethesda. We didn't do E3 because E3 is garbage. And
You mean EA is garbage, not
what?
E3.
Oh yeah. My bad. I worked all day. Sorry. EA's garbage.
E-
EA's trash. Sorry.
You know what the bad part is, though?
Hmm.
EA's press conference was longer than Square's.
I heard they had a stage thing too. Was that Halo? What was
Sorry,
that? So,
that was my phone. I apologize.
um, yeah. I mean, no offense to anybody who likes EA. I just heard through the grapevine. I
Fuck
didn't
'em.
see it. Yeah, I just heard it wasn't that good. Today, after Square Enix, it was Ubisoft, and then just a little bit ago, PlayStation wrapped up. So we got to see their presentation, which I think was looked pretty cool for sure.
We'll
It definitely looked pretty sweet.
we'll talk about it.
But I didn't get to see Ubisoft, and I only saw a little bit of it. So Josh from Nerdvana over here, who has been doing the whole thing with me, and Jared's up there. Jared's right there too. Jared, say hello. Show
Hello.
us the shirt you're repping today.
He's
I
repping
am.
the wrong. He's repping for the wrong
I know
day.
it's
That's
a wrong,
tomorrow.
wrong side
That's
here, but
because that's because he's so pumped for tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. See, I
Yeah,
see what you did there, Mario. You just gave him an alibi, and I like it. Okay, I'll let him go.
you pumped for
it's
the
me,
Nintendo?
Mario, and Yoshi's going to be with us.
So, Josh, take it away. Tell us about Ubisoft and ask us whatever you want, and we'll give you our honest opinion.
Okay, so Ubisoft's conference for the first part, why is it that always the first part of their conference is so cringe? It is just but before we get to Ubisoft, I do want to mention real quick, Sega has been releasing stuff online, and I think it deserves mention because just of how awesome Sega is, kind of. They can be when they want to be. Um, so what they recently announced is that there's going to be a new Sonic racing game. I know some people don't like the Blue Blur, some fucking love him. They represent he represents their childhood. I mean, I personally enjoyed Sonic Mania. I think Sonic Mania was one of the better games of last year. And let's see, they also announced one of my favorite new animes. A new Fist of the North Star game is coming, and I am fucking pumped. What do y'all think about those two announcements? Are y'all fans of Sonic or even
I have. I played Sonic like years ago when I was younger, but I have been a fan of Sonic. Like I personally love some of his like his recent like all well recent or older versions of games. Personally, I love Sonic Heroes because since I love just the gameplay of it and how the levels are designed. But personally, I grew up with Sonic. I haven't played much of Sonic, but I love Sonic.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Jared. I grew up with Sonic as well. Not as much as most people did. Obviously, I never played the original game until recently, and those games, in my opinion, are hard as fuck. No way to actually, I take that back. I did play Sonic 1. I did play Sonic 1 because my cousin had a Genesis, and he had Sonic 1. He also had Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and that game is it's sublime. It is godlike. It is so good. But what about Fist of the North Star though? Like, do y'all have seen the anime? Do y'all know what it's about? Anything like that?
I know
Mm,
of Fist of the North Star, and I've seen Fist of the North Star before, but I personally I've never watched it, so I don't know what it's about. But anime games are usually pretty fun, so I'll have to definitely look it up to see what it's all about.
Oh yeah, man. I recommend, and this is not a plug. This is not a shout out. I am not sponsored by this company, but I do want to give them a shout out. I would recommend because all 6 seasons and the movie are on Verve. Verve is an amazing site. If y'all don't have it, it has a bunch of different subscriptions like Geek and Sundry, The Nerdist, Crunchyroll, Funimation. It's just a good damn site. They recently added Freakazoid. They added a Freakazoid to they added Freakazoid to Verve recently. Yeah, and they also have Fist of the North Star, Naruto. Bleach, almost every 90s anime, Yu Yu Hakusho, all those. So I recommend y'all watch it on Verve. It's the way I've been watching it. But I
That
have
is,
one of the
what is that? VRV, right?
VRV.
Okay.
VRV, yeah, and it's amazing. It's an amazing site. But excuse me, I have one of the Tecmo Fist of the North Star games. It's pretty damn fun. Pretty much the video games kind of base themselves around the TV show, which is based around the manga, which basically is the world is gone. The modern man has annihilated itself in nuclear war, and there are these deadly martial artists, and the deadliest martial art of them all is the Fist of the North Star, which is the only, and there's only the difference between most martial arts and the Fist of the North Star is only one person can know the secrets of the Fist of the North Star fighting style, and that man's name is Kenshiro. And I can tell now, looking at the games and the animation and all that, I got a lot of inspiration from Bruce Lee. Like he reminds me so much of like Bruce Lee and mindset and how like he would fight and all that and how people perceived he fought. Personally, that's how I see it. But yeah, I'm pumped for this new Fist of the North Star game. They also announced on PC a lot of Sega classics are coming, including both Shenmue 1 and 2 to PC, which will be fun. Especially since Shenmue 3 is in production.
Mm-hmm.
It's not delayed, it's not canceled, guys. It's coming. It's just taking a while because Shenmue 3, like that game is one of those games it's just like, oh god, if they don't get this right, like there's going to be backlash. But that's all I got for Sega, but let's get into Ubisoft now.
Yeah.
So, Ubisoft, I said it started with cringe because it did, because Just Dance started the show, and yeah, it had a
parade.
It
Just
was
Dance
fucking
parade.
stupid. It was stupid. It had
At least
like
that's
a
what I was told.
It had a guy in a panda suit. It was stupid. But after that, they got to the good stuff. They got to Beyond Good and Evil, and
Jared,
it's
do you
funny.
like Just Dance?
I just actually talked to Josh.
Jared, do you like Just Dance?
Why
as a
not?
man?
Why is not?
I
Why
liked
can't you can't
the-
you can't even a man can't even just shake his booty for once on a game?
Yeah.
No.
What the heck, Josh? Man can't shake his booty.
What's wrong with that, Josh?
You want to know what's wrong with that? Okay, we'll go on a side tangent here. When the first one came out, there was a
second
song
one's the
called
best.
I know, but the first one is the one that my cousin got for her birthday, and I danced with her. I danced to Rolling Stones, all that good stuff, and then the song "Wake Me Up Before You Go" came on, and I told my cousin, if this motion is in there, I'm not doing it. And as soon as we started,
Well, yeah, but that's
I'm
part of
like,
the
I'm
that's
done.
part of
I'm
the
done. I'm done. No,
You
fuck
just
you.
did
I'm
it.
not doing these motions.
Twice.
I meant in the dance, Mario. I'm not dancing to that.
I mean, I just want
Is
to
it
do.
worse that you did it to no sound and before you did it? I think it'd be better if you did it to music.
It's
Moving on.
I only said I would get it is because of just having fun with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just to have fun.
Just Dance 2 is still the best one, so they're like Guitar Hero now. They're just stop.
They are like Guitar Hero. Just
They
stop.
are.
But let's see. They introduced more Beyond Good and Evil, and this game. Oh my god! I never played the first one, but I have it on my PS3. I intend on streaming it when the time comes. Now here's the thing. Y'all haven't played Beyond Good and Evil either, have you?
No, I
have not.
I've always seen the case and the cover of the game, and I've never played it at all.
So, in the trailer, which I think was one of the best trailers of Ubisoft's conference, the original protagonist was in it, and both of them were. So Jade is the original protagonist from the first game, and she was accompanied by a talking pig named Paige. I think that's his name. Well, the Paige is the cook on the ship for the new protagonist, and Jade apparently might be the antagonist. And this is a prequel to the first game, so I'm interested to see where this could go. Especially since I'm interested to see where this can go.
I heard that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's hit record is helping sponsor some stuff that
It is.
having creators create things for in-game world that will update and stuff like graffiti and
Yeah,
music.
so everything. And I am going to tell my good friend who's been on here before, Shineland Flowers, about this. So there's a good chance he could put his music in the game or even send it to Ubisoft to see if it'd be put in the game. Because, I mean, it's not every day you get to have a contest or not a contest, but something where you can be like, hey, I heard you wanted to put some original music in the game. Here's a couple of my songs. There you go. I think it's interesting. But
I love that stuff. So just hearing that made me really excited. And I heard it was described as a space opera.
it is a space opera. This game is much more in detail and much more, in my opinion, it just looks so much better than the first one. I've seen gameplay of the first one. I'm not saying the first one is bad in comparison. I'm just saying that from what I've seen of the two games, I think I'm going to prefer the second one over the first one.
Jared,
But what's your opinion?
Before you go to the
What's
next
your
question,
opinion,
I
Jared?
just wanted to know if Jared is interested by Beyond Good and Evil 2 at all.
I'm not really too interested, I guess, in it.
You're all
In a way.
PlayStation hype.
PlayStation hype, yes. I have
I'm the one wearing
PlayStation
the
hype.
fucking shirt and hat.
I know, and I bought a PlayStation shirt, but it's too big for me.
All right, Josh.
Wear it anyway.
I'm not wearing
Yeah.
a.
Take it off.
What?
Don't worry, I'll show you this. I'll show you my belly if that's what you want.
What? No, don't show us.
Don't show us.
Not,
Yeah, Mario's already done it already. He's already shown us his nice hairy belly.
This is on record, by the way.
It
so
is.
that's-
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true,
it
yes.
is. It's yes. I'm very
Oh.
hairy.
Anyway, because it's him, Mario. Woohoo!
Ah!
Anyway,
I think we a little bit.
speaking of Mario, the next game I had on here was Mario Rabbids. They announced the Donkey Kong DLC, and they even brought out Grant Kirkhope, the person that leads the orchestra. Mario, what is it called?
The orchestra?
Composer.
Oh, the composer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the composer of many of the Rareware soundtracks, including Donkey Kong 64 and the Donkey Kong Country games. Yeah,
Wow.
so he
That's
came out
big
and did
stuff.
he came out and did the stuff for the Donkey Kong DLC. It was pretty cool. Have y'all played Mario Rabbids or seen anything of it?
Yeah, I own it.
I-
I really like that game. It's
I-
got a very strategic Fire Emblem kind of feel to it, or XCOM feel to it. So
Yeah, we mentioned that about Gears Tactics during the Microsoft one, but
Yeah.
this game really does have an XCOM feel. And it's XCOM for kids. I have a lot of parents who have bought their kids Switches, and they're like, "What's a good game that they can actually play for hours on end?" I'm like, "Here's Mario Rabbids. Not only is it a fun game they can play for hours on end that has Mario in
It's
it, but
challenging.
it also, yeah, it's a strategic, challenging game, and it'll give them a challenge. They'll want to keep playing it. Hopefully."
it's fun.
Hopefully
I highly
hopefully this
re-
generation of gamers isn't a bunch of wusses who gives up on one try, but
Yeah,
they're
I-
kids. They get temper tantrums.
I highly recommend it if you have a Switch. Definitely get Mario and Rabbids. It's super fun. But Jared, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the way that you were saying is it's like a kid having a temper tantrum. Screw this, Mom! I don't like it no more.
Mario, is that game multiplayer?
Yes, I believe it is. It's I don't know exactly how it works. I think you fight each other's team or something. I think that's how it is.
If that's possible, Josh has an idea for a future stream.
Oh, God,
he's,
But,
he's just yawning over there.
Anyway,
I am.
You need to be
after-
more excited, Josh. Listen to Jared. Damn it! I did it
I'm
again.
trying here.
Jared, listen to us. Jared, pay attention to us.
Jared, what are you looking at? Pay attention.
Oh no, I was just checking my bank. That's all I was doing. Just making sure.
Because of E3.
Shh,
He's
don't
checking
yeah.
because of E E3.
Exactly.
Check my bank account to make sure how much money I got. Here, E3,
Now-
take all my money.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Jared. We'll get to PlayStation soon.
Now, this may be a surprise for you, Mario, but there was actually a For Honor expansion announced.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Um,
I like that
they're
game.
announcing new warriors and a new mode where you siege castles, which I think is going to be fun. Um, that's all about it. That was for For Honor. I mean, they're announcing these new warriors, which I think are going to be really cool. They announced new weapons for them. They look like Middle Eastern weapons, honestly, which would be really cool to have because Middle Eastern weapons were sleek and quick, made to make an impact and yet be deadly at the same time. At least back in the day, they were. Let's see, and then Rainbow Six Siege was up next. Yeah, they introduced more stuff for Rainbow Six Siege. Not only because the Division 2 was in there, Mario, like we knew it would be, but Rainbow Six Siege also had a presence there as well.
I'm done with Siege personally, but I heard that Division 8-player raids, which is kind of almost like a Destiny feel raid wide or similar to Destiny. The first one is what I was told, and then you're going to be able to pick a spec or some kind of class or something in the beginning of the game, and you'll start out max level with that spec, and you'll get a special weapon for that class or something. Is what I heard.
It Division 2 is definitely going to be better than Division 1. Can we? And I'm only saying this because I'm actually curious to know. And when this game comes out, Mario, is there a good chance you might stream some of this game?
Oh heck yeah! I'll be streaming all over it. I'm gonna be like all over the stream.
Just you running around with you're just like
gonna be Jared. This isn't the Attitude Era. We don't go be above PG-13.
Be careful.
We may mention the word bitch like once every month.
Oh my god.
Why do we sound like it's not
anyway,
like we're
the next
Jared, have you seen anything on Division 2 yet?
No, I haven't.
I suggest you look at it and let us know what you think when we in our group chat. Not now, but like
I know.
Let's see, and after that was Starlink, which is, in my opinion, the final breath in the toys to video games fad. Ubisoft it's a new IP, so pretty much there's like these little starships, and you can put them on your PlayStation 4 controller, Xbox One controller, or your Nintendo Switch somehow, and basically like customize them and help that. But what was really cool was Ubisoft loves to say they have a great partnership with Nintendo. So as a Nintendo exclusive for this game called Starlink, you get to play as Star Fox.
Oh wow, what's the gameplay like though? What do you actually do in the game?
The gameplay actually looks pretty decent. It's like, I think it was pretty sound, honestly. Like, I'm going to give this game a chance on my Switch. I'm not going to put it on PS4 unless the controls are absolutely better than on PS4 than I would. But this is definitely going to be a Switch game because I need as many Switch games as I can get right now.
Do you have a Pro controller for your Switch?
I do because
it
I'm
actually
not
feels good.
Tweedle sticks. I hate playing with little Tweedle sticks. I'm just like, this is a controller. This reminds me of the Wii, and I hated the Wii.
Jared, you gonna eventually get a Switch one day?
Yes.
Yeah, Jared. Are you gonna get a Switch?
I already plan on getting
Smash.
I already got to get a Switch, an Xbox One.
Don't get an Xbox One. It's like I said, get a PC.
But I want to get an Xbox One. You know why?
Jared, you can play Cuphead on PC.
Can you really?
Yeah, So the physical copy of Cuphead is just a digital code.
Oh.
But
it
comes with posters.
But it's not just that. Not the reason I want Cuphead. I would want to play my rare replays on there too.
You can play that on PC too, Jared.
I know what you're trying to do, Josh. You're trying to get me to go over to PC.
It's better than Xbox.
Don't try to get anybody to go PC, okay? All right. What's the next?
So after Starlinks was a new pirate game called Skull and Bones, and I put in my notes, it might be good competition for Sea of Thieves because that game actually looks really good in my opinion.
How the graphics look?
They're okay.
Did they show gameplay or cinematic?
They did show a little bit of gameplay. I believe they showed gameplay. Let's see. What else was there? But yeah, The gameplay looks pretty sound in my opinion, but only time will tell. But I did put it. It might be good competition for Sea of Thieves, and might make Microsoft want to up their ante in Sea of Thieves to make it better. It'll be odd though if both that and Sea of Thieves, are on Xbox, but I don't think they are. My goodness.
Josh, are you okay?
But after
What is wrong with you?
after
So, more pirates.
after Sea of Thieves came The Crew and The Crew 2, and I couldn't give a shit less about this game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If people are excited about this game, I'm happy for them, but this game is not for me.
I mean, they added planes, which looks pretty neat, right? That's the one that added planes.
Oh my god, they added fucking planes.
You sound like
Oh my god, I'm supposed to be more excited about this.
Guys, not only that, they added fucking boats.
Oh,
I can go extreme on a pontoon like a motherfucker.
you sounded
I
like
still-
Jack Nicholson when you said, "Oh my god, they added planes."
You
But
are my number one.
it's all about Forza
Guy.
Horizon. It's all about Forza
Forza-
Horizon.
You mean The Crew 2?
I mean, no, Forza Horizon 4 is gonna blow Crew 2 out of the water.
Oh, absolutely it is. Unless, no, there's no new Gran Turismo coming out. So yeah, the new Forza game is going to blow this one out of the water, hands down. But after that, there was a game called Trials Rising, which is a motocross game, which I thought we already got out of that fad as well. So apparently skateboarding and motocross never truly left gaming. They just went silent for a while.
I had one on it's 360 or I think it was 360 that was, or PS3 that was really fun. I actually like those type of games. I like the one I had. I haven't played any like newer ones. The mechanics on the other one was good.
The only game I truly played that is motocross was ATV Off-Road Fury 2, and that soundtrack. I would literally play System of a Down over and over again while trying to board a train with my ATV because I thought it looked cool as hell. I would pretend like I was in an action movie and I'm being chased, like, oh, I gotta get out of here, and then I jumped the train, and I missed. Like multiple times. I was like, shit, cut, we're going back.
Had the ATV X MK or whatever the heck it was. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That one, I think that's the one I had. That one was pretty fun.
That one was fun. But this next game, Mario, I think might be the most interesting one out of Ubisoft's lineup, and that says a lot. So do you know what the company Spectre Vision is?
No.
So Spectre Vision apparently handles like movies and all that type of stuff. But here's the cool part: one of the co-founders, is Elijah Wood.
Really?
Yeah,
For
and
no
Elijah
baggage,
Wood.
Jared.
Oh god.
Elijah Wood was at E3 talking about this game called Transference. Basically, the premise is this: because Elijah Wood said it best. Imagine if you could go into someone else's dreams and someone else's mind and like see every bit of it, the good, the bad, like what would happen. And I put it pretty much for that. It has, new game being made partly by Elijah Wood and his company. Spectre Vision has it's a really cool idea for a game. He is, again, the co-founder of the company, but it looks really, really cool. I'm interested to see where this could go because I can see this being like a psychological thriller. Because the way Ubisoft described it was that we're mixing we're mixing the way of the cinematics of filmmaking with the interactivity of gaming, and I'm just like, okay, I see where you're going with this, Ubisoft. You might be able to pull something off, actually. So Channing Tatum and Elijah Wood are both at Ubisoft's press conference, and it wasn't cringeworthy. Actually, they were actually there for a legitimate fucking reason.
Oh, wow.
So props to Ubisoft for that. Let's see. And then, of course, it ended with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And, oh, my God, I think Assassin's Creed may have finally gotten a breath of fresh air from the AC2 formula.
I think it's kind of... I did see that you could play as a female or a male from the get-go.
I'm not sure how, and this is just me being me, I don't know how historically accurate that is. I don't know if there was actually women Spartans. I know that most of Sparta was warriors, though, so they at least got that part right.
Yeah.
But what was really interesting was they're adding RPG elements. so you can upgrade your gear. You can customize and change your gear as a Spartan, as
Yeah.
an assassin Spartan. You get to meet
Honestly,
historical figures again, like Socrates and Aristotle and all them, and Plato. And I'm just like, ancient Greece is one of my favorite time periods in history, and I'm so glad we're going to get to go there.
honestly, I don't think it matters if there's female Spartans. I mean, some of them rely very heavily on history, like the Assassin's Creed games. But why not give females, get chick gamers or girl gamers or lady gamers? I don't know how the terminology is, but lady gamers. I'll say lady gamers. Lady gamers or
I,
people
ca-
who
I say gamer girls, but I mean, to each his own.
whatever gamer girls, lady gamers. Jared, you got one?
Gamer girls sounds better.
You're right, gamer girls. And men who like to play as female characters too, because there's a lot of that too. So I think that'd be,
Gamer girls with a Z at the end because we're badass.
there you go, kick-ass gamer girls.
Gamer girl for life.
We support gamer girls.
Hashtag we support gamer girls with a Z.
There he goes. Jared has got the right ideas with a Z.
So overall, Josh, what'd you think of Ubisoft's press conference?
Ubisoft had the third best press conference so far, in my humble opinion.
Their stage
Microsoft,
looked cool.
oh yeah, their stage was amazing. I mean, there wasn't as much cringe as Bethesda. So the top four right now is third is Ubisoft, fourth is Bethesda, fifth is EA because of obvious reasons. I'm not going to reveal the top two though until we get to Sony.
Okay. So Jared, anything that we mentioned from Ubisoft pop out at you?
Not really, not to be honest, because I mean, for one,
You're telling me you're not excited to drive in a fucking plane?
I
Alright.
could care less about the crew, really, to be honest.
All right, Jack Nicholson, chill out. So, Josh Nicholson
There you go.
with a Z, and yeah, I don't know why I said but next we're going to talk about PlayStation. So here we go. You guys are excited. PlayStation fanboys in the house.
Yeah, even though I'm
So it started at
Hashtag no shame.
hashtag no shame. It started off with a guy playing a banjo, right? Is that how it started?
yes.
So it started off. They actually went to a church, and for the first bit of it, and it was funny because the guy who started off was like, "By the way, this does count for your Sundays. This does count for you going to church to make up for church base." Hold on, let me take out a headphone. He said,
Okay.
"This counts.
Take your
this,
time.
This counts as you
Hold
making
on,
up
Josh,
for
take
missing
your time.
church on Mario."
No pressure, no pressure.
Okay, go ahead.
He said this does make up for you missing church on Sundays, and I thought that was hilarious to me for some reason. I don't know why, but it was hilarious to me. But yeah, it started out with a guy named let me see.
You have the guy's name?
Yes, I do.
Frank Miller with a banjo? So he
Stop
reminded me
it.
of.
His name is Gustavo,
Oh.
Gustavo.
and he
that-
introduced us to The Last of Us 2.
I did like that Sony. First of all, Sony's setup, Sony's screen was awesome. It looked like, and they also did it for the Samurai game they showed, where they had a music intro into the game, which is really nice and very beautiful as well.
I have my own notes for that song, by the way, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
It was like almost like a mini concert to me. Like it felt like an event. I mean, they even had their own panel for like a pre-show. It felt like a WWE pay-per-view.
So, okay, I also put that in there. That, to me, that broke up the pace. Like, I was all hyped up after The Last of Us Part 2 was shown, and then I'm just like,
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
like, like Looney Tune. Like, I'm
Yeah.
running, and all of a sudden I look down, there's no floor underneath me. I'm like, well, it was fun, God.
But the
No,
question,
it should have been just like where you just hold up the sign and be like.
But no,
it says dumbass.
I did put what the hell broke the pace, but I wanted their background for my laptop, like just the stars and all that shit.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was-
that.
it was
I loved
nice.
it. I loved it.
Let's go with Jared because he didn't get to say much for Ubisoft. We'll go to him first. Opinions on that Last of Us gameplay that they showed.
I have been
It's
waiting
dope.
for We know, Josh. I have been waiting for Last of Us. I didn't know if it was gonna be Last of Us 2 or Part 2, either way. But I have been waiting for this for the longest time, for the fact to show us something of what happened to. For one, as we're all still questioning this. We're all still questioning this. Where's Joel in this?
Hashtag where's Joel? Hashtag find Joel.
I bet she snuck out or something.
No, I mean,
You mean
way-
he would sneak out, but why would I told Jared this. I said I hope he didn't get Loganed.
No, if he does, that'd be towards the end. Even though Logan seemed like The Last of Us.
It was The Last of Us, dude. That was great.
No, I really. I mean, why wouldn't she sneak out if he's so protective? Because wasn't there one cinematic trailer where he was very protective of her?
he
Well,
was.
he was being protective for the sake of, making sure she didn't die.
Yeah, so maybe she snuck out.
No, because because if you know the end of The Last of Us, like me and Jared do, because Jared, you played y'all both played The Last of Us, right?
I have played that twice. I played that Last of Us game twice.
I haven't.
So
beat it,
y'all
though.
know. Oh,
Go ahead. I already
Mario-
know. Yeah, people spoiled it for me. So.
well, you know how the game ends.
Mhm.
So it's basically like Joel finds his redemption in a sense for the beginning of the game. Which, by the way, if you did not cry to that, by the way, I take that back. I cried for Life is Strange, God of War, and The Last of Us.
I cried at the very end.
That was the other game. That was the other game I cried at the beginning. I was just like, no. I wasn't loud or anything. I was just like a soft
quiet.
If
Just
you're
a
watching
quiet.
If you're watching it on Twitch, the Twitch chat was all like Tomb Raider Junior, Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider. Why does this look like Tomb Raider?
Jesus fucking Christ! The Twitch is.
Let me tell you, when she kissed the girl, Twitch was so offensive about her sexuality. It was I was really upset at people and nerds.
So was I.
I'm very offended of being a nerd when other nerds are just so insensitive. It's just not cool.
It again, like I said this on my group chat the other day. You just got to block it out and just make those people feel like they're the minority, because they are. They are the minority, but the minority sometimes has the loudest voice. That's the unfortunate part. But here at Nerdvana, and I can speak for Cinema 7, I'm assuming as well, we do celebrate all walks of life. Creed, color, race, sexuality, we celebrate it all. Because, and I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I know there's a lot of uprise about women in video games, but they've been there.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't recognized. That's the thing. And so seeing Ellie, but also I want to say this: if you were upset by the Last of Us Part 2, you obviously didn't play the prequel DLC that came out for The Last of Us Part 1, which shows Ellie's sexuality. It showed that in there blatantly.
Yeah.
And also how she got bit.
I will say the graphics look like, people comparing it to Tomb Raider, the graphics look better than Tomb Raider, in my opinion.
Because Naughty Dog, I'm not saying Square Enix doesn't know what they're doing, because Square Enix has been a top publisher for a long time. But Naughty Dog has a certain level that they like to set themselves to. And if they cannot meet that level, they will damn sure make sure that they can reach it somehow.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog always has a good track record. I can't think of a bad Naughty Dog game at all.
Jared.
Like from Crash Bandicoot to The Last of Us Part 2, I can't think of one bad Naughty Dog game.
Yeah. Jared, you excited for Last of Us 2?
Yes, I am.
All
I am
right.
very, very excited for this.
So I have one question to y'all. Do you think it's going to be on the PS4 at the ass end of its life cycle, or do you think it's going to be a launch title for PS5?
Jared.
Because didn't they release it on? Didn't they release an announcement?
Date.
I don't think they did either.
I think it might. It could be on for PS4, or it can even be on PS5.
It might be
Who
both.
knows? I mean, they want to make sure everyone still can play it.
Kind of like how they did with PS2 and 3, and now and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I will say this though, like for PS4 and 5, there shouldn't be that much difference except for like texture and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because
But
if you have the PS4 Pro, that's pretty much the PS4.5
yeah,
right there.
but the next game they showed was a beautiful looking game which
At,
also had a music intro.
hold on one second. There's actually a couple before that one.
Really?
Yeah. So
Just go through.
They showed off Call of Duty again.
Oh,
One
during
streamer
that,
for that.
yeah, during that commentary
Yes, yeah.
thing.
I counted those because I wanted to make a point in that statement also because you and I were talking about it earlier, Mario. PlayStation's conference wasn't as strong as they normally are, and I believe that's partially because they announced games leading to E3 that they could have easily put in their presser. They could have
Mhm.
easily put these games in the press conference. I was actually insulted that Days Gone was before E3 and not shown at E3 because Days Gone for the past two E3s was one of those big games. And isn't Naughty Dog also making Days Gone, or who's making Days Gone? I know it's one of their big publishers.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy when it comes to game developers and publishers. But
True.
but
Well, not true, but
hey,
I
hey, whoa.
listen. You've been insulting me. I could insult you once.
Okay, Josh Nicholson.
Get out! It's like, what are you doing here? Get out of here!
Josh
There's
is
also-
just mad.
I'll bring Mr. Kim in here.
Josh is just
There was
mad. PUBG had the best game trailer.
No, it didn't. Not after these other pressers. No, it didn't. But let's see. There was also Twin Mirror, Ghost Giant, and I'm happy that Beat Saber is coming to VR. Now, Mario, you shared a very interesting opinion on VR. Do you want to lay that out there, or
3 words. Stop with the, and then I'll add 2 letters. VR. Stop with the VR.
are you not a fan of VR?
No,
Why?
I think it's just like the Kinect. I think it's just like those camera games. I think it's a fad and it's gonna end soon.
I agree, but I also hope it's not true because I hope for I've been waiting for virtual reality games for a long time, and ever since I saw Tron, and when I saw Tron, I was like, this is going to be the future of gaming.
And the
At
quote,
some point,
go ahead.
all I'm gonna say is this: when I saw Tron, I just for some reason, I just saw this is gonna be the future of gaming. We're gonna have full body suits. We're gonna be these characters that they create. We're actually gonna be them, like able to move their arms and stuff.
Yeah.
VR is the first step, but augmented reality is truly the future. But that stuff's way too expensive right now. They need to work on that tech some more. But I think if VR is fine tuned, because unlike the Vita, unlike the PSP, unlike other stuff Sony has done, they're not giving up on the VR. It looks like the VR they see has potential, and so does the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. And I'll be honest, when I watched reviews on all three of those systems, the PSVR apparently is the most comfortable, it's the most affordable, and it has some really damn good games on there. Like apparently Resident Evil 7 is really good on there. Like it legitimately is terrifying.
Jared,
And I would be scared too.
Jared, quick take on VR.
I haven't played VR much since I never have the money to afford it, but I seen gameplay of it, and like I said, like Josh said, pretty much it does have good games on there. Like it said, Resident Evil 7, which I've seen gameplay of it. It is terrifying because one, you're pretty much seeing it with your eyes, and you're like, oh god, what am I?
You swat at it and you can't hit it, and it's the most terrifying thing ever.
It's like it's just nothing in front of you, but it feels like there is something in front of you. So it's pretty much you're just gonna like, wait, what did I just hit?
But not just
What else
Resident
did they
Evil
show?
So they showed but yeah,
During this time?
after Beat Saber, they showed Destiny 2 expansion called Forsaken, which Jared, there are Destiny fans.
I don't like Destiny. Okay, it's just they need to stop.
1,000 dislikes. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, oh my god. If you don't like Destiny, try Division.
Here's my thing.
You are shameless, sir.
What are you talking about?
If it was me, I would go to Division than Destiny. I'm sorry, but I've tried Destiny multiple times, and I still just couldn't get
Yeah.
that excited.
To be in the middle and not pick a side, even though I do pick that Division, uh, both have strengths and both have weaknesses.
The weakness of Destiny is not Division.
Yeah. So let's move on to the samurai game. Let's talk about how beautiful it looked.
What is that game called? I got Ghost of, but I cannot pronounce the Japanese part of it, and I am sorry.
Shunami, I think is what he said.
Ghost Tsunami.
Ghost Tsunami. Yeah, it had a. It sounded like he said sushi and then something else. No offense, but that's honestly
Either
what
way,
the commentary guy sounded like he said.
either way, that game is going to be a fantastic exclusive to PlayStation.
It looks. My one friend who does the podcast with us, John Kanoki, great guy, great co-host. I love him. He's probably my best friend in the whole world. He insulted it by saying it looks like Batman Arkham Assassin's Creed, and I'm like, how dare you?
No, how dare you?
I love samurais.
How dare you insult the samurai way?
Are we seriously going to do this comparison shit again? I had to deal with this once with God of War and The Last of Us, and now I have to deal with it with this.
So anyway, I think it looks good. Josh, what do you think?
This game looks fantastic. I understand where he's getting his comparisons from, but Batman never used a sword. And Assassin's Creed has used swords, but
Yeah.
not in the way that this game does. This game looks like it's going to be a genuine good game. Sucker Punch again. So for me, I told Jared this. The Trinity for PlayStation has always been Insomniac, Naughty Dog, and
Sucker
this
Punch.
company, yeah, Sucker Punch. They've made great platformers for PS2. They made great games for PS3, and now they're making great games for PS4.
Yeah, I'm not dogging on John Kanoki at all. He has great opinions. I love the guy.
I haven't met him.
Just throwing his opinion out there. But I don't know. It looks beautiful. I love samurais, so I'm automatically hooked. Jared.
I watched it like enough to get absorb the gameplay and the way of the text of the game, of the graphics and the design. I personally love it too. I love samurais. It's something that me and my dad actually had something in common, is that we both loved like the Japanese culture and the samurais and all that stuff and the swords. And I think it'd be a great game.
I put in my notes that I love Japanese music. It makes me so peaceful and happy.
How
It's just
whitewashed
so
was that,
calm.
though?
So what?
How whitewashed was that? That guy
Oh,
was
wait,
like,
what?
whitewashed. That guy was.
Oh, whitewashed.
That guy was so white. That was playing the music.
I mean,
He was good, though.
like, it was good. I mean,
Fantastic.
I look at it like this, like, anyone can play the bagpipes. Anyone can play whatever the fuck that instrument was called. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of that instrument. Anyone can play the didgeridoo.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Japanese music is probably the most soothing music. Like,
It is.
and Mario will know what I'm talking about. Mario, do you know what I do with Yokozuna's theme music?
You play it?
I meditate to it
Oh wow.
because it's so damn peaceful. I'm just like,
It's pretty much that moment.
So-
It's like that one day you have a shitty day and you pretty much just want to come home and all you just want to do is play that music.
I play Yokozuna's theme song and I get calm as hell, and I'm like, this song is so relaxing. I also fall asleep. I've also fallen asleep to it because it's so damn soothing.
Yeah.
But
R.I.P. Yokozuna.
R.I.P. Yokozuna.
The other thing I want to mention, besides, I don't want to get into the banana guitar guy or whatever it was. That was kind of weird. Wasn't it a banana guy?
It is a banana
guitar?
man.
Oh,
Talking
I know
about
what you're talking
banana,
about now.
talking about men and man specifically in their name. How about bathtub man or bathtub guy? Or what was it? Bathtub guy?
Hey, look at me! What's up? It's
Bathtub Guy.
Bathtub Guy. It's Bathtub Guy here. I
Alright.
got the sick new game by Justin Roiland. That sexy motherfucker.
So, you guys love Rick and Morty. I'm gonna let you guys for 10 minutes just go on about Bathtub Man and what this game
Hey.
could be. So go.
Hey, Jared, show him the pickle.
All right, everyone. I know you probably won't be able to see this, but look who decided to join in on this little chat.
Good shit. Good shit right there. This is a, and by the way, Mario, this is a VR game, which I find actually surprising. Justin Roiland,
Is it really?
yeah, it's a VR game, and Justin Roiland just proves to me with Rick and Morty VR, and now this game, and then he also has another game that he brought to VR, which is so funny. The trailer for that had me dying at PSX. I think it was either PSX or E3 of last year that he showed that trailer for the other game. I can't think of the name of the game off the top of my head, but Justin Roiland is a very creative human being. He does his own talented voice. Jared, just show the pickle. Either show the pickle or don't show it.
I'm sorry. I'm a grower, not a shower.
I said, it's called. I think it's called like Trove Saves the Universe. I said it looks fun. I mean, but the trailer for it was hilarious because the TV falls in the tub. He dies of electrocution. All of a sudden, oh geez, oh somebody call 711. Because, this is sci-fi, and in our universe, that's the emergency help hotline.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Every time that you say it, every time you say that, that just makes me laugh because of the fact he just rushes right in, and it's just like, oh, shit, this is happening.
Like, the thing that's funny is that, like, he kind of smiles about it, too. He's like, it's a sci-fi world. That I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna get a VR game event. I'm gonna get a VR headset eventually. I'm gonna play all these damn games because here's one reason why. I mentioned that 2 games I played on my PC was Wolfenstein 3D and Duke Nukem, but there was one more, and they brought that specific game back for VR. And I don't know what it's called, but it's basically like fighting with tanks, like tanks versus tanks. I forgot the name of it. It's one of the original PS. What?
World of Tanks?
No, not World of Tanks. That wasn't out back in the early 2000s.
Okay. Battlezone?
Yeah, I think it was Battlezone.
Something like that, right?
I played Battlezone, yeah. And it was like green graphics. It looks so bad in that back, like looking at it now, but back then I was like, this is amazing. I loved playing that game, dude. Listen, as a kid with that computer, I played on that damn computer more than my mother could use it.
All right, so Josh, what was the next game? Because you have the notes.
So there was a new game by 505 Games, and I know this game company in particular because they make a lot of what I call relaxation games.
Yeah.
They made like Adrift and all those types of games. I think they also helped make Abzu, if I'm not mistaken. I think I might be wrong about that, but I loved Abzu. I loved
what was the game
Adrift. It's called Control.
That's right.
It looks sick. It looks so sick.
Jared. I don't think I've seen that one. I didn't see that pop up when I was watching the show.
It looks like Inception, honestly. It reminds me of Inception.
It was the one with the weird cubes and everything kind of going into like a portal.
I saw that now. Yeah, I saw part of that. It only showed part of it, but it didn't like show like actual like
That game looks sick as hell. It looks like it has potential. It has all the potential in the world.
What else did it show?
But
Jared, what were we going to say real quick?
I think it has potential too.
All right, what's the next game, Josh?
I put this down, and Jared is going to love me for this because I'm going to take a note from Cat Icarus. The next game was Resident Evil fucking 2.
I didn't know that Resident Evil 2 took place in Raccoon City, because the third one does for sure. I know that.
So it's like 3 happens before 2.
What?
I'm not shitting.
Really?
Nemesis
happens before 2.
I looked up the chronology. 3 happens before 2. So it's Resident Evil 3, and then Resident Evil 2.
But it's weird because you blow up the city in 3 at the end. That was one of the things you could get.
Oh, no, wait. They happen side by side. Excuse me. They happen side by side.
Okay. Same time?
Yeah, same time. So that part. Resident Evil 2 is a game people have been wanting to be remade for the longest time. They remade 1 1,000 times because of the Writers Guild strike, not the Writers Guild strike, the Voice Actors Guild strike in Los Angeles. A lot of famous voice actors joined that protest for better, working conditions and all that stuff. And because of that, a lot of games got held up. And one of them was the Resident Evil 2 remake because some of the original voice actors were part of that strike.
It looks nice.
Everything is calm and cool. Oh my god, it looks so good.
Oh my
So good.
god. I am like, yes.
Jared is very happy. Jared, what are your thoughts? What do you think of how it looks? Does it on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you? And also, do you
On a,
think that this will be a game you automatically pick up?
on a scale of 1 to pretty much, okay, I'm just gonna say it. I would give 100%. I would literally automatically go pay for it and wait for it on its when it comes out. Like I would be standing in front of a GameStop, literally picking it up. I wouldn't even care because literally I love Resident Evil 2 has been like something that I truly love. Out of all of them, is my favorite. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5 have been my favorites too, but the actual personal favorite has been my Resident Evil 2 because of the atmosphere and the creatures that have been in it, and the characters acting was actually so spot on. It's
Oh, go on, Jared. I'm gonna let you finish.
but it's just the fact the atmospheric of the game is pretty much what gets you on your keeps you on your toes because of the fact you don't know if a creature's gonna pop out of somewhere like in Resident Evil 1 with dogs popping out of the windows.
Yeah.
That shit scared me to like half shit. Like, where the fuck did these dogs come from? Get this
So
shit out of here.
they fixed that in the remix, so where now like every time you pass it, it like hits the window, so that way you don't know when it's gonna pop out, and I think that adds even more tension to it.
It's like, kick the damn fucking pooch out of here.
In the event of doorway blockage, just remember to kick the fucker. But no, I'm excited for Resi 2. I know a lot of people. I would love it. Okay, so I told Jared this. Resi 3 has to be the next remake after Resi 2. They're pretty much going to remake all these damn games.
I'll definitely buy that one just for nostalgia purposes.
Absolutely. I have 2 and 3 on my PlayStation 3. The reason I don't have original Resi 1 on my PS3 is because I have the remake on 4. So that's why. But let's see. After that, and after the Roland game, made also by Squanch Games, we got more Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has been the most shown off game at E3 this year, and that is because they really want that hype. By the way, I shared it in our group chat, Mario. Did you see the quote-unquote collector's edition for it?
I saw the Pro edition with the Kingdom Hearts, or the PlayStation Pro you can get, and it's like...
Yeah, well, yeah, that was shown in the press conference, but I shared something on our personal group chat where you get like 3 like of those figures you were talking about that Square Enix does. They look like Sora, Goofy, and Donald in the Toy Story universe. Comes with a bunch of other stuff. It's like $238, and you can only get it on SquareEnix.com.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
They're really making you hand out your money.
As I was telling you earlier about how I would always mess with my friends about that game and hate on it. And as much as a hater, if I am on Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts because I'm a hipster sometimes, that game looks really fun. That game looks pretty fun.
I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game. As I've said multiple times, I am going to stream that entire series, and Zane will be joining me for that experience because he has played the Kingdom Hearts games, and he took the news of Frozen being in there as good as I knew he would.
It looks fun. It was
hilarious.
It looks fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to play as Naruto. I mean Elsa.
Yeah, she does run.
Elsa running as Naruto. Naruto.
How about the graphics for Captain Jack Sparrow?
Oh my God! Did they get the? Okay, so here's my question for Disney on Disney's side: did they actually get every one of the pirates to come back to do the voices? Did they actually get Elsa, Anna, and Olaf and all of them to come back? I want the original voice actors from the movies to voice their characters. I understand that they can't, but I would love that personally.
What else we got? That wasn't the last thing they showed, right?
God no, that'd have been Square Enix all over again.
Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man a little bit.
Oh, they also announced. They already said they announced a Ratatouille world as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Said that earlier.
Okay. Well, yeah. After Kingdom Hearts, there's a bundle, and then they're all coming together there's a PS4 Pro bundle, and then there's the bundle with all the games combined into one wonderful little package, including 3. But after that was Death Stranding. This game is at E3 for the third year in a row. I still don't know I don't know anything about this game.
Nobody does.
Hideo
Nobody
Kojima
knows.
is one.
I think
Hideo
it's a mystery game. It's a mystery.
I
Yeah, the
definitely
mystery
think...
is.
Oh,
You
go
go ahead.
ahead. No, you
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say that. I said the mystery.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, you go ahead.
I was gonna say that the mystery is what the fuck is this game? That's all
I was
gonna
actually
say.
going to say something too. I was actually going to say, well, gang, this is another mystery we got to solve.
The only thing I was gonna say is
No.
it
Yes! Come on!
has something.
Scooby-Doo
It has something to do with ghosts and monsters, I think, from another dimension, kind of showing up and blending into our world, but not fully. That's why that one thing might be invisible. And this baby has something to do with it. I think it's
the
two.
future.
I think
It's
it's like
the
two.
chosen one.
Yeah, I think two worlds are blending together. Is what I think.
Anakin
is happening.
Skywalker is reborn.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker's been sitting in that jar for too long. He's about
But
to come
no.
back.
Here's the thing though. I don't know anything about this game, but whenever I saw the handprints in the mud, I do this. I'm like, don't
Yeah.
see him, don't see him.
Yeah.
It's so creepy. And Norman Reedus, Jared, you mentioned something about Norman Reedus and Silent Hills. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Oh yes, I've seen gameplay of other YouTubers play it. To be honest, that would have been a very good Silent Hill, another Silent Hill game to actually be done in that sort of graphic and design way of horror and suspense, especially with
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus playing as the actual character. That would actually be pretty good, even though but then after that, it's just pretty much you haven't heard nothing about that. It was pretty much just like, just a little.
Let's talk about Spider-Man. Let's transition into Spider-Man. I hate to cut you off, Jared.
No, you're fine.
There was also a few more things just to get off there. I put
Yeah, just mention them.
I love that my last name is in this game. If
Which
you notice
one?
his Porter. If you notice the jacket says Porter, and I love that.
Yeah.
So there was a thing, and then also I love that my last name's in a Kojima game. Thank you, Kojima. But I said this game is still weird, but I'm interested. I'm glad there was actually some physical gameplay. That looked awesome. But I also want to know who was at the end of the trailer, because I've seen her face. Was that Gwyneth Paltrow? I don't know who the hell that was.
I don't think so. And Jared just yawned really big again.
Oh, okay.
Jared,
real
if you
quick.
got to yawn,
There was only
put your
one more.
hand over
I
your
am
mouth.
yawning.
There was
I'm
only-
yawning as much as I can.
There was only one more game announced before Spider-Man, and I was surprised because we announced just yesterday, Team Ninja has joined at Microsoft. So Neo 2 is a thing,
Oh, yeah,
and
that looked pretty neat.
I'm excited. So that's 2 samurai games, Mario, for you to get hyped for.
3, because that one at Microsoft. So
That's right. There's 3 samurai games coming. People are finally noticing that samurais are cool again. But anyway, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
this reminds me of heavily of the Arkham games with the fighting style and stuff. But it also reminds me of
so sweet.
Spider-Man for the PS1, and it reminds me of Spider-Man 2
On PS2.
the movie game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, everyone has said, because I think someone did a poll, and Spider-Man 2 beat Ultimate Spider-Man for the best Spider-Man PS game of all time.
People think that game is one of the best games of all time. I remember when
Absolutely.
that's people still talk about how great that game is.
Dude, I'm gonna stream that game. I'm gonna stream that and Ultimate Spider-Man. I personally like Ultimate Spider-Man better, but that's only because of the story.
Yeah,
Honestly,
the story's
because
really good. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, I love it, and I also own the comics that story is based off of, both of them. So,
But look in I guess the looks of it and gameplay and some of the little bits of story elements and environments stuff.
It's gonna get a lot of comparisons to Arkham because of Batman doing it first. Rocksteady doing it first. And
Yeah.
Rocksteady, I love Rocksteady to death. I love the Batman Arkham games. We all, I think, do love the Batman Arkham games.
What?
I can hear you guys still.
Oh, okay, good. It's just
I
that
can hear you, like, literally, I have
I
my thing
noticed
all
Jared
the
and-
way up.
Jared
That's
and-
why I, like, took it
Jared,
off. My ears
Jared.
are...
Jared,
What's your opinion of Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
I actually can't wait for it.
Tell me things you loved, tell me
I
three
just
things
lo-
you
I-
loved, and tell me one thing that you may question about it.
I mean, mostly the things that I can see that I loved about it was mostly the like combat and fighting, like the first, like, I'm sorry, I don't see no freaking freaking way it can be the same as Batman Arkham Asylum, because just the way the way it looks, the way it's doing, it's not it's not like getting me, like, saying, oh, this
Jared or Josh, let Jared finish.
I know what he's gonna say. I know it. The thing that kind of still I question a little bit is who is Josh already. Me and Josh have already said this, that we might be thinking that there might be a Sinister Six in this, and we're still trying to and it still questions to me who is the final villain of the Sinister Six,
Goblin.
if this is.
No,
Green Goblin.
It's Doc Ock.
Well, in the comics, it's Doc Ock, right? But
You listen to me. Listen to me. I love Green Goblin as much as the next guy, but I've always thought Doc Ock, in terms of outsmarting Spider-Man.
mhm.
No, not outsmarting Spider-Man in the sense of, like, actually being
Smart.
a smart guy instead of a businessman in a goofy costume. Low key shot at Batman. But
Batman can
but
totally
no.
beat up Iron Man. Okay.
Oh God! Just back up there for a second. Back up there for a second.
Anyway, so yeah, they have the first villain to be announced, and everyone is the main villain. I thought it would have been interesting if he was the main villain, but he's not going to be, and that is Mr. Negative. He's a villain we have not seen in any Spider-Man game before. I'm excited for him to be there, but these are characters we have seen. So Electro, Scorpion, Vulture, and Rhino were all announced. These are classic first couple of issues of Spider-Man villains.
How do you think they look?
They look
I
fantastic.
personally like the designs. They're trying to go with a modern look, but also, stay true to the comics. Same thing with Spider-Man. People get upset. People have gotten upset, like, oh, Spidey uses too much technology, or the villains use too much technology. I'm like, this is modern era. Like,
Yeah, Dominatrix
it would look more.
Rhino.
When you said Electro, I just kept on thinking the YouTube video
God damn it,
of
Mario.
Electro just standing there, just waving his finger around. He's just
Well,
like,
as soon as I saw the. Oh, and also, that's right. Shocker is also in this. So that's
Yeah.
another villain. It's not gonna be Shocker. If it was Shocker, that'd be the most anticlimactic shit ever. Because Shocker is
It's
like a
gotta
B.
be- They keep they keep teasing Flisk, which is Kingpin, with some of
Well,
the
Kingpin's
stuff.
in jail.
Okay, but he's in charge of the Sinister Six. I know in the cartoon, like he
Okay,
funds
so-
them or whatever.
Yeah, that was the animated Spider-Man series, but and this is why I say this, and people get really upset when I say this. I love the '90s Spider-Man show. I have it on bootleg Blu-ray. Okay, like I have all the episodes. I love the show, but to me personally, I think the Spectacular Spider-Man does Spider-Man more justice than '90s Spider-Man, and here's why I say that. Peter Parker in that is more likable and more like he is in the comics. Gwen Stacy is fun loving and all that. Mary Jane is in this, but they did the villain so right. And with these games, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about Spider-Man. In the '60s, yeah, it was okay for the villains and heroes to look the way they did, but and I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is current era, and technology is now more accessible. So, like, I understand why they're giving these villains and Spider technology as it goes along, because if the villains adapt, you have to adapt to them. So if they're using more tech, you got to use more tech. Otherwise, you're going to be, outgunned and outnumbered. Speaking of which, that's kind of look like what was happening to Spidey at the end of that trailer. He was he was getting his ass kicked.
Miles Morales, I'm telling you.
I guarantee he's going to be. He's already been announced in the game as a character, and with his movie coming out, he's going to be one of those pieces of DLC. I'm
Yeah.
hoping Venom is too because of the Venom movie coming out later this year. But they've said there's no symbiotes in this game. But I feel like that's also a hint that there could be some in the DLC. I pray. I want Lethal Protector Venom. That'd be dope to have. Also, apparently,
Did you ever watch the MTV animated series, the
I
CGI one?
I also have that one. I think that one's pretty damn good too. Personally, I think, and it's also set in the Sam Raimi Spider-Verse. Technically it is. Although Electro's design in that was stupid.
We'll have to we'll have to agree to disagree on best animated Spider-Man show, but that's a debate for another time. And and we also have to debate Batman animated series versus the Spider-Man animated series because I kind of think that Spider-Man is better than Batman.
There's two. Those are. I look at it like they're two different shows entirely. I'm not just saying that because one's Batman, one's Spider-Man. I'm looking at it in the sense of, in terms of like, so Batman the animated series kickstarted what is known as the Timverse, which is Superman, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited, and Batman Beyond, and Static Shock. Where Spider-Man was already a part of an established animated universe with Iron Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and all of that. Spider-Man was just the final piece, and that's why during the Secret War storyline, it just fits so perfectly for all the characters the way they did from their other animated series. Like, it's two different, like, basically, Batman animated series kicked off the DC animated universe, but Spider-Man was the final piece in his universe. So pretty much everything had been established. But the reason, Mario, have you seen the Spectacular Spider-Man?
No, I'm not interested in the art at all.
A lot of fans say it is the definitive Spider-Man because of how it handled its stories. Its storyline. No, I understand if you don't like the art style, but the storylines were actually really good.
I don't know.
They improved on what Spider-Man 90s did. Like, I'm not saying they just completely disgraced
I'll watch it, but I feel like it's going to be too kiddish, and it's going to have a lot of very kiddish moments where animated
You think that?
the 90s one. It's okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to watch it.
We'll see.
But,
we'll see. But overall, what would you guys give PlayStation's conference? Because mine is going to shock y'all.
I don't know. Oh, I'm not going to grade it. I'm just going to say that it was definitely presentation-wise one of the best-looking ones. It looked like a mini concert. Quantity-wise, it was definitely lacking as a surprise to me. I mean, they showed a lot of gameplay, and I think that's a positive because gameplay definitely. I think Sony so far had the best one just because they showed gameplay, but I think that quantity wise, Xbox was a little bit better because it showed more. I don't know. It's like I'm torn between Xbox and PlayStation because I love that PlayStation showed a lot of gameplay, and I love their presentation. But it wasn't a lot. But then Microsoft showed a lot, and they had a cool setup. I don't know. I'm torn, but there's positives and negatives. Jared?
Same. Yeah. I'm the same way because, to be honest, with it being that there's so much that it's pretty much, yeah, Sony did the same thing. They pretty much they had a good presentation. Just they had kind of like lacked in like as much games that they were showing. Yeah, they had a good lineup, but Microsoft had a little more games to show. But it's just like pretty much like you said, Mario. I'm the same way. I'm torn between both. We're both torn between both Microsoft and PlayStation.
Josh, what is your grade?
So for me, and I got to take the hat off now. So for me, Xbox was better than PlayStation this year. Personally. Yeah. I'm the Sony fanboy wearing the Sony PlayStation shirt and the hat. But here's why I say that. Sony gets an 8.5. Microsoft got an 8.6. 1 point shy because Microsoft needed this goal. They had a goal. Get exclusives, on this console finally start competing with Sony and Nintendo. They answered that goal tenfold by announcing 50 games. PlayStation had a misstep by announcing them beforehand. In my opinion, that was a little cocky of them. They shouldn't have done that. And I love PlayStation. I will always support PlayStation. But I will admit when they make a fuck up, and this was a fuck up indeed. Presentation-wise, absolutely. I agree with you, Mario. Gameplay is more important than trailers. But in terms of getting games officially announced, getting the hype started, Microsoft did that. I'm just so glad that Microsoft's back in the game because, again, competition brings out the best in people. You and me, Mario, are big wrestling fans. I do believe WCW brought out the best in the WWF back in the day. And I'm hoping that Microsoft will do that for PlayStation and Nintendo to where they'll want to compete. They'll want to make even better games than what they already have. Because I'm not saying the games they have are bad, that they announced are bad. Far from it. I'm going to probably buy most of these games when they come out or later down the line. But it's like a bar system. So Sony was right here. Microsoft literally just went like right here. Like that. They gained that 1% that they needed to get better.
If you haven't seen any of the Ubisoft or PlayStation stuff, totally look it up. It's out there. Check it out. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about, or later today, or whenever you see this, just know that we will have a Nintendo digital, what do they call it, like a digital treehouse, whatever they call it.
They call it the Nintendo Treehouse.
We're going to be talking about that next, so let's see what Nintendo brings to the table. Let's see what they do. But I really think so far this E3, a lot of expectations. There was a lot of rumors, too many maybe, that got us really hyped for a lot of these showcases and what was going to be shown. And I think that made a lot of people disappointed in what was shown.
I mean, a lot of these were just rumors and speculation. I mean, for God's sake, we talked about the 2 leaked Sony press conference list, and both of them were fake. Which either they were fake. Here's something. Here's a theory I have. Either they were fake, or Sony saw that they got leaked and changed what they were going to show.
Yeah,
because
and maybe they'll show stuff later.
Because I think E3 is big for Sony, but PSX is their main baby. They're definitely going to show stuff like Medieval. They're going to show stuff like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if, because I think Microsoft also has something like that, like PSX. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of these rumors that we thought were happening at E3 will happen at another one of these cons, because our cons are just things in general. Also, Comic-Con is around the corner, so I was hyped about the Avengers game and Superman game. Who's to say they can't show up at Comic-Con? It makes perfect sense. San Diego makes perfect sense for those games to show up. I know the Spider-Man PS4 is going to be there. DC's going to want to answer that, especially since the Avengers game might be there and Spider-Man's going to be there. DC's going to want to answer that, and having Superman game there might make the difference, because a lot of people are hyped about the Superman game.
So we hope you guys enjoyed our discussion. Check out Cinema 7 on all social media, Twitter, Cinema7_pod. On Instagram, we're the same, Cinema7_pod. On Facebook, we're Cinema7. How we spell 7 is the, if you don't know by now from finding this video or whatever you've listened to us on before, or maybe you do follow us on social media and that's how you discovered this. It's the number 7 EVEN. You can support us on Patreon. You can become a patron. There's a bunch of tiers on there. $5 you get a sticker, I think, or maybe we lowered it. $8, $10 you get a t-shirt, something like that. Go check it out. And also, if you become a patron for as little as $1, we will try to interview you for opinion on a movie and a video game, whatever you want, and we'll put it up here on YouTube. So definitely be a part of that. Also, if you want to support the podcast, check out our sponsor, Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/C7pod, and you get a 30-day free trial of Audible. You get a free credit towards any audiobook or audio drama, and you can cancel your membership, and you keep that said book or drama, I believe so. So definitely do that. I mean, it's pretty neat. You get like the longest book possible with that credit. But that's a way to support us. To support Nerdvana, which is Josh and Jared, definitely go to Facebook, Nerdvana channel. Look them up, and you'll see the logo of the N and the controller that I put in the picture. The only difference is it'll say Nerdvana, and there's like a landscape. So definitely check them out. And Jared, if you want to tell us about your Twitch and what you're streaming, you could where to find you on Twitch and what you're streaming right now.
Okay, I am for my Twitch. I am also for also anybody that does not know. I am Mr. underscore Piggy 93, aka Jared, and also you can call me either way. You can even call me Mr. Piggy. For right now, I have been streaming Evil Within, and also probably hopefully starting next Monday. Me and Mario, aka Cinema 7, we will be start streaming what is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Mondays.
Mr. Piggy underscore or Mr. underscore Piggy 93, right?
Yes.
So check him out, and you can also see him on the I Want My underscore NTV Twitch page, because Twitch will be Josh's that's the official Nerdvana page for Twitch. It also hosts our page as well, among many others. Zombie God. It's
actually zombie underscore God. I'm sorry.
Okay, zombie underscore God.
But I had to.
He's been reviewing E3 as it happens, which is pretty cool. So check that out on the I Want My underscore NTV page. And yeah, Josh, if you wanted to talk about what you're streaming right now.
So what I'm streaming right now at I Want My underscore NTV is Destroy All Humans. I had a pretty successful stream yesterday. Technically, I had 3 semi-successful streams because Twitch decided to crap out on me twice. But once I got it rolling finally, I had a lot of wonderful people. I met a couple of new people. Got to share my opinions and all that. I got to learn some new opinions. I actually had to have some nice conversations with some gentlemen and ladies, because the first one was indeed a lady. And we talked about it.
Girl gamers,
lady
with
gamers
a Z.
with a Z. Yes. And we talked about everything from, Invader Zim and that show to Destroy All Humans itself as a game series to THQ Nordic and everything in between. I'm very vocal with my group chat. I want to have conversations. I want to talk to you the fans. I want to talk and share opinions and get the discussion going, because that's how we create friendships and bonds with people. And I cherish that and want that more than anything. That's why I created my Twitch. That's why I created Nerdvana, was to bring a little bit of unity to the internet, which might be in of itself an oxymoron, but I'm gonna try my damnedest. I'm gonna have gray hair by the time I'm 35 because of it, but I'm gonna try my damnedest. I'm gonna be old man Josh.
Same with Cinema 7. We want to share all opinions, and that's why we want to have guests and stuff like Nerdvana. And, hopefully Nerdvana will become part of Sparkberry. We don't talk much about Sparkberry because, we don't use it a lot. But Sparkberry Entertainment had a goal, and hopefully, once, a lot of people in Sparkberry and Cinema 7 can get more, funding to support maybe a more dynamic thing to create off of Sparkberry.
Don't you have a Patreon?
I do. That's a good idea. So donate to Cinema 7. That could help donate towards Sparkberry Entertainment.
Even the smallest dollar helps.
Exactly. So for Cinema 7, if you want to check us out, look us up on all major podcast platforms. What are you pointing at? You pointing at Jared?
I was pointing at you.
Who are you pointing? You guys pointing at?
You.
We're gonna be in different places when this goes out.
It's like it's okay. So I was actually gonna say something too, because of the fact of how Josh explained how he built his channel. The reason I stream is also because I would love to make friends, make good newer friends, good friendship connections, but also to make people laugh. Make people put a smile on their face and see that it's not just the seriousness of the game, but to actually like see that there's also a part of where you can actually joke around with the game. There's sometimes you gotta be serious with it, but to actually learn to actually say, oh, I can laugh and giggle around and actually be silly for once.
Yeah.
And not sit there.
So check out Mr. _ Piggy 93. Check out I want my _ NTV for the official Twitch Nerdvana page. Check out Nerdvana channel on Facebook, and check out Cinema 7 wherever you listen to podcasts. And look us all up. Do it. And I want Jared to have the final word.
Do it.
Do it. Jared, give us a Jared quote.
Give us a Jaredism.
A Jared.
As a one man once told me.
As a one man once told me, okay.
Hold on, that's not it. That's not it. I must face hell and face it alone.